Welcome to the KBB Review podcast. I'm Andy Davies as always, and this is a special bonus episode, counting down to one of the biggest events of the year, the InstallerSHOW 2024. It's from the 25th to the 27th of June, that's Tuesday to Thursday, and thousands of visitors will descend on the NEC in Birmingham to see the latest products, mix with peers, and hear the latest advice and debate on some of the biggest issues facing the sector. For the first time, there will be a dedicated installer kitchens and bathrooms area, and that's where you'll find a special extra one-off issue of KBB Review, as well as big supply brands and big topics being discussed. In a moment, we'll be meeting Mike Costain, who is the Managing Director of show organiser Lyrical Communications. But you can find out all about InstallerSHOW 2024 at InstallerSHOW.com. And you can also register to attend for free there too. I'll put that link in the episode description. And here is Mike Costain from the InstallerSHOW. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Well, how are you? We're only a few days away from the show now. How's your stress levels?
Yeah, coping. Everything is on track. Yeah, so far so good. I'm sure there'll be a few last-minute hiccups, but all good. Looking forward to it.
Well, I think you've chosen, just because your stress levels are obviously not high enough, you've chosen this time to have some actual work done on your own house, I believe.
Yes, indeed, yes. And today we've got 2 kitchen fitters and quite a lot of background noise, so apologies if you can hear that. All go in our house.
Did you let them over the threshold before they'd gone online and signed up to attend the show?
Well, they've been given a lot of merchandise, so they're all wearing InstallerSHOW hats and caps.
You see, always on brand.
Yeah, indeed.
Right, so I'm sure you've done this many times, but I'm thinking of the floating voters here, Mike, who may not know enough about the show or undecided about whether to come. Give us your sales pitch for what the InstallerSHOW is.
The InstallerSHOW is a big trade show. So 650 companies exhibiting their wares, from the big technology organisations like the Samsungs and Panasonics of this world through to startups. And if you're in the KBB sector, we have a compelling proposition for you. So product, trends, talks, innovation, and lots of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's packed full of stuff. And it's called the InstallerSHOW, and that would imply what the target audience is, obviously. It's tradespeople. But actually, I think it's probably sort of organically expanded beyond that a little bit, do you think?
Yeah, that is fair. InstallerSHOW has been going for nearly 10 years now. As with most things, you don't want to change the name. But the subject matter and the audience have certainly broadened out over the last couple of years. So we're talking kitchen design, innovation, we're talking outdoor kitchens, we're talking the future of the sector, we're talking future bathroom industry. And from an audience perspective, you'll see people in retail, design, architecture, as well as those people who are fitting bathrooms and kitchens in commercial and residential buildings.
There's probably a thought that if you went to the NEC on those dates, you're going to see more white vans than a McDonald's drive-through. But actually, it's a really interesting mix of people and a really interesting mix of program that you've got there. And I think what makes that so good is that all of those elements do touch on installation. All of those people that you've described there should know about installation and not just about the guys on the tools.
One of the aims of an event organiser is to pull the jigsaw puzzle together of how our industry and the sector work. And admittedly, yeah, we started with those people who are fitting, but they don't work in isolation. And so broadening out the visitor audience with a proposition that would attract someone in retail or specification is where we're at. And and hopefully the programme represents that.
Yeah, the Venn diagram of installation has lots of overlapping bits in it. This year, as you say, it's been going quite a long time, the InstallerSHOW, but this year sees the first outing of a dedicated section for kitchens and bathrooms. Installer Kitchens and Bathrooms is what you've called it, very imaginatively. Tell us why you focused in on that and given it its own area alongside all the others.
Well, from about 2022, we started to see a swathe of bathroom manufacturers, bathroom organisations coming to exhibit at the show. And that continued to grow last year. And then the natural broadening out of that was to then invite the kitchen sector to come along as well. So I suppose it's the biggest gathering of bathroom manufacturers at any event in the UK. And we've naturally now broadened out to the kitchen sector. And because we've got scale now, it needs its own identity. And as you say, we've been racking our brains for what we're going to call it, and amazingly enough, we came up with installer kitchens and bathrooms.
And what's great is there's an awful lot of stuff going on there. I mean, you're throwing everything at it. what are some of your favourite things that you're looking forward to seeing, or at least looking forward to seeing other people seeing, if that makes sense?
And that from our perspective, is what we enjoy. And I think what an event organizer should enjoy about this is bringing people together. That could be bringing people together to encourage people to look at product, to look at innovation, or to listen to the latest trend, design, whatever it may be from the sector. So industry names from KBSA, from the Bathroom Manufacturers Association, from the manufacturers and suppliers like Neolith. Damien at kbbreview has been a big advocate and a big supporter of the show. A smattering of celebrity. So Kevin McLeod's coming along, George Clark, Linda Barker, various others. The list goes on.
Can I just congratulate you there, Mike, on the use of the word smattering, which I haven't heard for such a long time. Well done, you.
I'll roll that one out again.
What I'm particularly looking forward to see is the Johnny Gray kitchen. It's been designed as the perfect example of a multi-generational kitchen. And I actually interviewed Johnny and Professor of Aging, always the best job title, Peter Gore, on this very podcast when they first unveiled it at Newcastle University. But that was all during COVID, so I haven't actually seen it in person. So I'm really looking forward to actually getting in and having a look at it.
Yeah, we started speaking to Johnny about a year ago, and in fact, I think you might have made the suggestion. Yeah, I picked up the phone to Johnny. The multi-generational kitchen had been at Newcastle University, slightly lost because it was launched just prior to COVID, or installed prior to COVID, and we have now, we've taken it, we've brought it to the show, we're bringing it back next year in a new way as well. Yeah, Johnny's been a big supporter of what we're trying to do, and is part of the programme, part of the installation, and helping us to provide a proposition that is right for the sector.
Yeah, what's the point of exhibitions or shows like this is to go and see something new, something that you haven't seen before, and to have your mind expanded a little bit. And I think that's a really good example of something that does that. It'd be very easy to sort of narrow a show like this down to go and have a look at the latest power tools or something, but I love the fact that it's generally so much more than that, particularly speaking as someone who shouldn't be allowed anywhere near power tools.
Fair enough. We'll keep you in a different part of the hall.
I will hurt somebody. So what are your ultimate plans for this show, Mike? You've expanded it a lot. It's developed a lot over the years that it's been going. What's your ultimate ambition for it?
What's our ultimate ambition? I think with this sort of thing, it goes back to that, why do we do this sort of thing? You want to create an event that the sector feels proud of. You want to provide and develop an event that the sector wants to attend. So it doesn't feel compelled. It might feel compelled to attend because they really want to, but they're emotionally connected to it. And that's one of the things that we try and emphasise in our communications and where we discuss the show and our ambitions. And hopefully that'll come across in the event as well. As an event organiser, you've got to invest in an event. You've got to invest in content. You've got to invest in installation, in fun things as well. So, an event that the UK think, actually, we like going to the show and we want to go every year. We're going to learn something and we're also going to meet peers and we're going to meet new people. So I'm not sure if that answered your question necessarily, Andrew, but...
From the kitchen and bathroom perspective, I'm wondering how much room there is for lots of shows and exhibitions within this sector. The KBB show is a very well-established show, and we've just had that back in March. Is there enough room for everybody, do you think?
Well, I would say so. As I said, I think, if an event organizer invests and cares about its sector, there is enough room because you will develop a space for yourself. And I think that's important, that you've got to continually think about that. You've got to continually invest in the event, and you've got to listen to the market. So, again, I'm not sure that necessarily answers your question, but it's something that we're passionate about what we do. We like what we do, and hopefully we'll provide an event that keeps growing for the KBB sector over the course of the next few years.
Yeah, look, for what it's worth, I think there is room for lots of events and shows in this sector because we're actually a very drought event sector, I think. There are very, very few events in this sector, actually. I think there's room for lots more of them. I think anywhere where lots of independent people get together to talk with like-minded peers can only ever be a good thing.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. And I think that, working in isolation, whether you are a retailer in a small business or you're in installation in a small business, coming together at an event like this, it should be a celebration, it should be fun, it should be interesting, it should be educational. And again, that sort of feeds back into the way that we try and do things. So long may that continue.
And if I'm working this out in my head right, that Tuesday is England's last group game of the Euros too.
Yes, part of the excitement will be the football, but fear not, it will not be compulsory.
That's a very good way to put it. Well, look, Mike, thanks for spending us a bit of time so close to the show. I'm really looking forward to it. I will be there, I'm sure, and thousands of others will too. So good luck with it.
Thank you very much. It's been good to talk to you.